they normally ask you based on, they will ask you based on what? Based on like classes, those previous, those chapters, like few chapters. So let me show you if I will have the, yeah, I think I will have them. So we just have to, this week, we just have to work a lot because like we'll have to really work. Even today, if it's possible, let's try to have at least 2 class or 3. At least 2 is gonna be better. I'm free the whole day because this is the hardest module. And then I will also share with you about the COS 1512, COS 1501 is fine. Don't stress about it. You only remember everything that we did about the sets.
Yes, sir.
And then, yes, the more of the questions that will be based on sets. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, I think there is a table that I really love here, like for us, it's going to be very important. Yes, no, it's fine. So the chapters that they're going to ask you more, it will be more of chapters, like you see from chapter, I think chapter 15, you know, it will be there. They normally use chapter 15 up to upwards, up to chapter 18 or 20, the last few chapters. Just that there is a table which shows everything very properly. I don't know why I can't see that table. Not okay. I'm not sure if it's going to be this one, but I think I'm opening the same thing over and over. Oh yes, this is the one I'm talking about. Yeah. So if you check these chapters, don't stress. They are not. They are important, but they are not hard. So I think in our class we already done. I know that I already taught you all this chapter. Remember, it's a functions. How to read and write in the file. You remember that section we did.
Yes, sir.
And then C strings.
F string or something like that.
C strings we did them also vectors. You remember?
Yes.
All right. So these chapters, you must revisit them. Is it? Remember, now I'm preparing for exam. So when you have a spare time, don't really spend more time on questions, but also revisit these chapters because they will ask you which header function, especially even chapter 5, which header function do you use to exit or to debug? Those answers, they're in this chapter for chapter 5. You must also revisit those chapters, read them. Chapter 6, go through how to read and write in the file. Also go through these chapters. Chapter 8, go through them. They will be asking you more of those questions that will be there in a multiple choice question. They can ask you which one do you use for copy? It's a string copy, those kind of that. And then also pointers will do them. So the exam is more in this one here. This is where your exam starts. If you understand properly these chapters here, classes, friends, overloading classes, and then separate compilation ADTs. If you understand these chapters properly, and there's not much you need to learn. You see, you're only doing 12.1 and only the first few 2 pages of 2.2 for you to complete number 12. You see, there are not much. Recursive, I'm going to teach you recursive functions. How it's very simple. Recursive this chapter is very simple. We're going to do that. And then also up to section up to templates. If you understand only these few chapters, you are done with your exam. You are going to get 100%, and then it's easier to understand. So what we're going to do with our class today, we are going. I think we already started, but I want us to start afresh. Ne? We are going to start on chapter 10. After that, we'll also take into account those questions. Those questions, majority of them, you might find that they are in here between. So we'll be doing the ones that we are working on. So today, let's do chapter 10, and then also we do those assignments, maybe those questions you will get satisfied. Then tomorrow, I want us to maybe at least, tomorrow is the 10th, you are writing on the 30, on the 12th. So tomorrow we might cover, I know that we will be able to cover all these chapters, only chapter 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. We are going to cover all those 15 chapters. Then on the 11th, we are going to work more on chapter, or if possible, we can finish all these chapters in one day. Then if we don't finish them on the 11th, we're going to work on chapter 17. Then we do also more of questions, etc. I do know those questions which come, the questions that they normally examine. I know them, they're inside my head. Just that I will be showing the moment when we are having a lesson, that's when I will be telling you which one you must take into account. So let's go. So meaning that we'll have a lot of classes today. We might even cover a lot of lessons today. So then after that, on the 13, you will be done, you will be resting. All right, so when we talk about a class is a data type, ne? Are you here, ne?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, so when we talk about classes is a data type that can hold different variables, different data types. So these 8 classes is represented. Your class must have a name, so which means you can write class. It's the same when you were doing structures. It's a class, it must have a name. So I might want to write a class. So the class that I want to write, it might be a class whereby, let's say it's a class about employee. I will name it employee. So when I write this class, your class at the end, it must have this is very important that you must know, it must have a semicolon. So when you write here in this class, I might have maybe variables. Variables, I might need to know the age of my employees. I might need to know the salary amount of my employees. I might need to know maybe the tax amount. How much are they paying? So yeah, and also the name of that employee. So we can have int age for employee. We'll have let's say string name for our employee, and then also salary amount. We need salary is going to be float salary. So these are the variables. We have declared these variables. So when you declare a variable in a class like this way, these variables, they are going to be private. When we say variables are private, it means that they can only be accessed within the class. You cannot access this variable outside of your class, meaning that if I have to create an int main, when I create my int main, if I want to access this variable, because they are private, if you don't indicate private, they are automatically assigned as a private in a class. So which means they won't be accessed as a public. So when you access variables from the class, when you want to access them to your int main function, we must create something which we call it an instance. An instant, we write an object. An object, we mean here, if I'm going to enter into this class, my class name is employee. So I can create an object that is going to point to this class called employee. So I can name my object like employee. Let's say employee, but the name must not be really the same. Employee, I can say employee A, for example. This is my object because it's going to be pointing to employee. So now when I write this, you will see that the first one, which is already been declared, is the name employee because it's declared as a class. So obvious, in terms of logic, I cannot start by writing employee. I have to start by writing the name of my class, now, which is employee, then employee A, which is going to be our object. So what it means in programming, I have created an instance. So this is an instance. What I mean, so I have created an instance. So when I have created this instance, so it means that I can access the variable within these classes. So the variable that I'm going to access, their age, name, and salary. But the problem comes whereby this variable, they are now automatically assigned as a private variable, meaning that I won't be able to access them. So in order for me to access this variable, I'm going to write public. Oh, sorry, let me write inside our class here. We are going to write public. I will say public. I can even write public. Public, you put a semicolon. Everything under the public, they are going to be now public variables, which means I can access them inside my class. So if I have to access them inside my class, I can say cout. Maybe for example, I can cout. I say I'm talking to an employee. I say enter your name. Then when we enter the name, enter your name, we will see in, let's use the see in. You can also use get line, it's up to you. See in name, but I'm just going to use a see in. So when I say name, here we cannot just write the word name. So we must point first. We're going to write this word employee. What? Employee A dot. So when I say dot, you can see it's showing me the what is inside the word what, because we created and place an object, what is inside our class, which is a name, and we already have it. So now I will access the name. Then I can also cout, for example, let's complete this code. I ask the user to say, enter your age. The user enter your age. So the user or the employee is going to enter the age. We're going to use in age. Remember always, this dot is a dot operator. So this dot operator, it is the one that we use to access what? The age. So as time goes on next year, if I will be teaching, I will be with you in second year, I'm going to explain more on this because we're going to be using them in terms of pointers, especially when we're talking about the stacks in COS1512. So when you say enter your age, we're going to also name employee A.age. Then again, we can say cout, enter your salary. So enter your salary, monthly salary. So here is going to be a monthly salary, which we can see in again. It's going to be employee again. You will see that when I say employee, sometimes it comes quickly there. It shows which one I want. I want that one dot. Which one I can just say salary is going to be there, but I already type already. So we have entered this data. So when here in this course, which is course 1512, you are learning basics. Basics, I mean, you are learning how to do something. So remember, our code that we are writing, they must perform some duties. So let's assume that, okay, this code we are writing, we maybe wanted to calculate the tax amount that this user is going to pay. So, but for now, we will run our code. We just want to see if we have any errors. Let's build our code. We have no errors, then we can run it. You can see that now our code is running successful. Enter your name. I can say Matamera. Enter your age, 23. Salary amount, 5,000. Then boom, it's fine. So we might want, and then before, let me also take out this public so that you can see. I just want you to see the difference. Now, when I run, you see, my code is complaining, telling us that this is private. It cannot be accessed within the name because of what? These are declared as public, private. But if you are in a structure, when you are using a struct, when you write them like this, you must remember that if you don't need to indicate if it's private. But if you wish to make your variable private, you can just write private in structure. But if you don't write private in structure, they are all automatically, they will be public. So that's the difference. So now in this code here, we may want to add functions. Né? We may want to add function that like, or maybe want to calculate. You could calculate, I can say, for example, if I want, I can even calculate tax amount for this person here. So let me show you. I can cout, I can say cout, maybe I say tax amount. I'm just showing you amount. This is just for learning purposes. but we are going to do it in the right way. I can say text amount. I know, okay, when I access, every time when you access, you must start by saying employee. It knows how much I have there. It will know how much I have. I will say employee A dot salary there. But I want to multiply this. My text amount is going to be 0.18. Then I will put an end line. So this statement here is going to tell us how much, if you're earning certain amount, how much you are going to pay. So let's build it and run. Okay, remember I didn't put the public. Yeah, let me write public again. So let's build our code and run. The code is going to work perfectly and run. So now when we build, it's going to start from the beginning. Okay, it's fine. Matamera, I will be using my name today, 25. And then salary, let's say I earn 5,000. Then which means tax amount for 18% for 5,000 is 900. You see. So, but in a good way, we are going to create, instead of writing it this way, let's create a function. We can create a function that is going to calculate for us what? That is going to calculate for us a salary amount. So when you create a function that is going to calculate for us, we can name it, for example, it's going to be text, yeah, float text amount. I will use the capital text. Hey, this text is going to need also the variable called float salary. I can say salary there. Then I'm going to declare. Remember, I'm doing what? I'm declaring here. This class is in public, and then I'm going to declare my class, my function as a public, and then I'm going to declare and complete the body of this class, of this function inside this inside my class. So what is the duty of my function? The duty of my function is to return the text amount that the employee must pay. So which means I'm going to say return. Remember how to write the functions. We're going to say return what? Return salary. Return salary, you multiply it by what? 0.18. So we have return salary multiplied by 0.18. So I can go, maybe I shouldn't have deleted that statement here. Then I can see out with my salary. I will say I should have maybe taken tax amount is fine, but already removed it. Tax amount, then it's going to be what I will just call that function here. Our function is called what? Tax. We'll just say tax. But remember, a text, it has what? It's already been declared, but our text, it has a variable here, which is text salary. So we cannot just say text salary, which means I will have to copy this. Let me just copy that and paste it here. Control C. Okay, yeah. So we have declared our salary is fine. Let's build our code. Okay, it's complaining. I saw that there was something wrong that I did there. So I will check it. Is text amount text? Okay. It says text was not declared in this scope. Text amount. Okay, text was not declared. Let's check. So we have text. Okay, see out. Float text, float salary is fine. We declared it as public and then employee. So, okay. Right, yeah. So I'm going to do this way. Let me say, remember, because of it's saying it's not declared, because we have to start by saying employee. So when I say employee A dot, you will see now it has this function for text. I can just click there for text. But if I write, I just want to say something. Our text there, it has some in the parameters, it has variables. So it must not be right, actually, yes. So that's where now I can say employee, but let me paste that. So let's see what will happen now. Now it's going to be fine, yes, that's what it happens. So do you see even the functions which we declare inside our classes, they also need you to use this name that we declared, dot. so that it works. So this is going to work perfect. So, but the most important part that I want you to know, but I never see this question, just a general thing that you need to know. When you declare your functions inside your class, and you also write or initialize them, or not initialize, I mean like you complete your function inside your class like this, we call it a method. That's what we call a method. So I will also show you the other way of completing your class. So let's just first build and run and demonstrate. Let's do the demonstration of this code. So the demonstration of this code is still going to be, okay, what's going on here? Let's build it. Run. All right. So it will ask me, enter your name, Matamera, and then you are enter your age, 26, salary amount 6,000. So you can see text amount is 1,000. So that's how it's working properly. So sometimes because of here it's just learning purpose, you can also make it nice. Maybe a name, who, text amount, you know, like that, like when you are playing around. But now we don't have time. You also don't have time. You will do that after your exams for practical learning purposes. So this is what we do. So we have declared our function as what? As a method. So I'm going to declare this function again as what? Not as method. So I declare this function, I will put a semicolon inside our class. So I'm going to declare this function outside of our classes. So when I declare it outside of our class, we are going to start by stating the name of our class, which is employee, for our name. And remember, the data type of our class, of our function, is float. Then you're going to say float employee. When you say float employee, you use a dot as not dot, colon. So this colon, we call them, this colon, we call them scope resolutions. They are called, if you go, if in the, what, in your multiple choice question, they ask you, what are these colon mean? What is the name of this colon? Like that. They are called scope resolutions. Scope resolution, you must take that into account. So which means it's going to be float salary. Then after that one, this is how you declare. Look at how I'm declaring this class here outside of our function. So now I can just say return what? Return salary. Return text salary multiply by, okay, I just copied for no reason, but that's fine. 0.18. So it's still going to return that salary. So this is how you declare. This way of declaration, that's scope resolution. Yeah, it's fine. So this way of declaration is, we call it what? It's not like a scope, it's not a method. It's just when you declare outside, you use this way. So if I build my code, it will still be the same. It will run perfectly. It won't have any problem. Then we can run it. Let's run the code. Then you will, okay, what's wrong? Okay, let me just build it again and run. There are no issues with our code. Okay, it's not, we're going to check what's going on. It's a process done. So let's check what exactly is the problem. We said float employee, text amount, text float salary, which is not a problem. And then return salary multiplied by 0.18. And then, yeah, it's fine. We have declared it out. Nothing not supposed to give us problem. Let me just, okay, it's fine. Let me just see something quickly. Employee. And then I will say, but it was fine. It was supposed to be fine. Supposed to be okay. Let's just check if, there was no problem there in what we did. Float must be here, and then float employee, the name of our class, then scope resolutions, and then text amount, float salary. But it's not, it's fine. As you can see, building successfully. That is not. Oh yeah, no, it was just an error. It's fine. Yeah. So you can see Matamela is okay now, age 24, and then salary 4,000. Yeah, 720. You see, it's working. So those are the different way of writing a class. So remember, now I'm going to go to a bit in page. Now what we are discussing chapter 12 about ADTs. When we talk about ADTs, ADT is just the meaning of the rules that you must follow. So this one of the rule, this is what you are going to be taught in ADTs when they talk about ADT for the class. So ADT states that instead of you to write your variables as public, your variables must be private. And then only the class must be public, meaning that these variables here are supposed to be are supposed to be private variable, only these three variables because they are variables, and a member function, let's say function, not to confuse you, functions. All your functions must be what? Must be private, must be public, meaning that this function is supposed to be public. So, but now it comes whereby if these functions are going to be, it's going to be public, and all these variables are going to be public, when we run our code is going to have a problem with this because these names, age, and salary, they are public. It means that you will have to create functions for these names because they cannot be accessed within, they have to be accessed within a class. They cannot be accessed outside of the class. That's where ADT is. So now it means that if our variables are going to be private and our functions are going to be only the ones which are public, it means everything here, it must be done within the class. So meaning I can create a function to say, okay, I need a data, these datas. And when I need these data, you will see that these data, they are different. So the only one that I need, if I need this data, I can use void, a function called void get details. Or normally in summary, I can say get data. So void get data is going to get different types of data, which is an int age, and then also int age, and string name, and also a float salary. So this is a function that is going to happen. So here in this function, I can also declare it inside here. It's fine if I want to. It does not matter. I can declare it inside, meaning that now everything that I've written, yes, this one, I'm going to copy them. I'm going to copy this. Copy. Or let me just cut them here. And then after that, I will paste them inside here. So now this employee name is no longer needed. Remember, we are inside the class, or we are creating inside the function. If you see here, when I was in this function, the way I use the scope resolution, I didn't say dot something. It's just like you just use, if it's in age, you just say age. Here also, you just say age. A salary, like that, yeah. So let's remove them like that, yeah. So this one here, we have created our class called getData, which we declared as a method because we completed it inside our class. So now, after that, when I've created this class, the only duty that I'm going to do, I'm going to call it inside our inside our int main. And to call it inside our int main, you know, we're going to start by employee. Employee dot, what is the name of our function? It's already there, is get data. But these datas, we have them, these datas, get data. It has it was having somewhat some variables inside here, as you can see. A variable, we declared it as some variables, is fine. But I want to eliminate something, I want to do something. Are you still here?
Yes, I am.
All right. So let's do this way. I just want to comment only. Yeah, that's fine. There is nothing now. So if I think we will be able to access them if we just say void get data, see name, because these names are already inside there, so it's not going to be a problem. So meaning that if I don't declare anything there, this function must not give us a problem. Must not give us a problem. Let's build it. Employee get data. It says what? See out. Error expected before. Okay, there is no C. Okay, yeah, semicolon. Text amount. What's wrong now with this one? Let's see. Says float employee dot salary is private within the class. So because this is private within the class, we're not supposed to use it here. So I'm not supposed to use. It's either I can create another object for it. So I will just write it like that. So when I write it like this, it means that there might not be need for me to say float salary. There might not be need. But now if I declare it like that, it must give me a problem because there must something that we need to put inside because we say it's salary. So meaning that I can just declare, for simplicity, I can just say float s, because yeah, I just write s there. It will work. But now when it works, it won't hold it's not going to hold this value. It won't be holding the memory, but it will work what we want. It's fine. So you can just declare it like that. It's like the same as if I didn't want to if I wanted to declare like this way here, which means I should have declared all these like the same. So I'm trying to minimize the time for doing that. And then let's run our code. So now we have our code is there. Enter the name, Matamela, and then age 92, 7,000. You see, text amount is 0. It's because that's why I say it won't hold the amount, right? Because this salary here, which is going to be declared, it must be passed the salary amount that we need here is supposed to be passed as remember like when you use to access the memory allocation address about it, you must put an at this thing and end so that it can be accessed within your code. So now when I do that, it means that in this class here, I'm going to have int, I will just say int A. I'll have to have int A, and then also and then maybe semicolon, we have string name, I will say string n, semicolon float s, meaning that float s for salary, meaning that this one, it won't be needed for now because we cannot download the like we cannot do it 2 times. I'm going to say a for, it started with a name, says n, comma a for age, comma s for salary. So now here we have passed the memory allocation address for salary, meaning that I will be able to access the memory allocation address for that salary. So you see that we are applying things that you learn in COS1511 about functions, how to write a functions, how to access the memory address of another variable from one function to another. So we are using that method. So let's build our class. Something is wrong. Get data int a string n and then string s. Let's see, get data. What's wrong now? And then maybe there is something wrong. Okay. Error, no matching function for function called employee get data. Okay. Let's see. Is n. Oh, okay. No, it's not matching because my function is start with a for age, then it goes to n for a. Yeah. So the order is talking about this order. Yeah. This is age, name, and salary, the way I've declared. So it must be ANS. So let's declare. Now it's going to be fine. You can see. So now our function will work perfectly. Let's see. Enter your name, Atamera, and then age 23, salary 6,000. We know already how much. You see, when we say 6,000, text amount 1,000 is working perfect. So that's what you are going to learn when you study ADT. Just that they will be teaching you based about what? Based on the program, how you organize in your code. So there are rules, 3 rules about ADT that you need to follow. The first
What is
rule
ADT again, sir?
ADT is data. It means data something. You can just open your book there for that meaning. It's for class data. ADT is called data what function. I just forgot. But if you open page number, I think I already showed you, yeah? If you open, they will tell you the meaning. Is data something for the classes. ADT. That's the ADTS, yeah, ADT, separable compilation. So it's the first chapter when you open here for 12.1. It will tell you the meanings. It's a data something, yeah, abstract, yeah, it's abstract data structure, yeah, abstract, it means abstract data structure. But you must check your book there. It's abstract data structure. So it tells you how it must be, your classes, how your classes, when you write them, it must organize. So the first rule that I gave it to you now is called what? Your variables must be private and your functions must be public. That's the first rule. So this is how you write your classes. Do you have any question maybe?
What is it, sir? But I
All
see
right.
referencing does make a difference.
It's not really hard. It's just the matter of simple. So
in the box, in the exam, will I be writing this?
Yes, exactly what I'm writing. You will be typing like you are in the writing like a code block in that box. The way I'm typing, you will be writing a code that must do something.
Will it be a lot though? Like everything, will I be writing like a lot? Like this, exactly like this.
Yeah, box, like it's like this is a box. The way I'm typing, you will be typing, it will be typing like this, yeah. You will see it won't be hard, it will be simple. It's just like a box that you have to type your code.
Okay.
There is no need for you to be taking something, capturing. No, you're going to write your code in there. And when you are done, you go to the next question. So this is how.
Are we allowed to use an IDE? Because I saw some photos saying we are
No.
and not allowed.
You are not allowed.
Okay.
Won't be using any. You open only your exam. You are not allowed. So this is how you write your classes. So we spoke about how to write a class today and now so far. And then we have to talk about, there are things that we're going to do them later on today. So I think you can close your video now. Yeah, it's fine for this lesson. You can stop the recordings. So we are going to the next class. We'll have it today, né?